Hello everyone. Welcome to today's stream. It's Sunday yet again. Wow. Anyways, hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Laine and I hope you enjoy your stay today. We already got some people here. Hello, Minecraft, Kalfaida, Ray, and Dangam. How are you guys doing today? Honestly, I kind of was not aware that it was Sunday already. The new year sort of ruined my perception of time when it comes to weekdays, at least. Yeah. Chillin', I see. Yeah, I've been sorta doing the same. Not a whole lot going on in the past couple of days, if I'm being honest. Been a nice holiday week though. That's good to hear. Glad you had a good time. For me, yeah, I could say the same. I guess? Yeah. By holiday, I mean sitting at home 24/7, but still, you know what? Valid. And also, real. I haven't left the house much either, so you're good, don't worry. It's also like kind of cold to go out, even over here, so I'd much rather prefer to get cozy at home. The 1st is like another Sunday, and next week we have the 6th, which is another Sunday. Hold on, isn't the 6th a Tuesday? Next Sunday is January 11th. January 11th. I gotta get started on my yearly tradition. You guys are leaving your home? Well, not so much right now, but speaking of the outside world, there's actual snow. There is actual snow. What a rare occurrence, and it's not instantly gone. Wow. I will enjoy the sight of that from the comfort of my own four walls. But yeah. Usually I also have the feeling that January passes by super slow, but somehow this time it kind of feels fast to me. I was sitting there and thinking, oh, it's already the 4th? Next week will be the 11th? I don't know. Somehow time passes by super quick for me right now. Yeah. So, for this stream, I didn't have too much of a plan, but I got the suggestion and thought, well, why not roll with it? It's fitting for the first stream of the year 2026. So I will get a little bit into my last year as a whole and, you know, kind of look back on it a little bit. But then also talk about my plans for this year, which will be important. yeah. But I thought at first to just, you know, chill a little bit, let everyone arrive, talk a bit about last week and stuff. Although there isn't really much to talk about. I didn't do a lot. It's just me sitting at home. I did spend the new year with my best friend though. They came over and we were just chilling, basically having a couple of drinks, and that's it pretty much. I don't go out to do fireworks. I'm not a big fan of them, mainly for the reason that they're super loud and I can't handle that. I never liked it. And also, well, there's also the environmental concern, but yeah. Once again, I was watching from the comfort of my own four walls, and well, my best friend is the same there, so we were just chilling, watching from the window. Staring out. Because, as I said, I really don't like those loud noises, which, again, ironic for me, a speedcore producer, but listen, hear me out, okay? Loud noises I can control, good. Loud noises I can't control, bad. We had people shooting fireworks right outside of our house. That was great. The cat loved it. I'm assuming this is being sarcastic. Yeah, my mom told me that our cat was hiding the whole time and was still acting a little strange the day after, like scared and stuff, so yeah. But yeah, New Year's itself, pretty uneventful. As usual, it's sort of always like this. My best friend comes over, or I go to their place. We just chill, yap, have a couple drinks, maybe play games, and that's it. And this year was no different. But what was different though is how that whole year went by. The year of 2025. It's been a ride for sure. With both good and bad events happening. Mainly good ones. A lot of good ones. And as I said, I sort of wanna look back on that today and kind of summarize what I did throughout the year. Sort of reminiscing. Yeah. I guess I should start off then. So we're now in January 2026, but we're gonna look back at last year. So what was I up to a year ago? So I guess the most important thing when it comes to my online presence, let's call it that, is that I finished ChrysaliaVT. Yes, I actually finished that model in January, not in December as I initially thought. I finished the art for the model in December, but the rig itself was done in January. Mid-January or something. Something like that. Yeah. And I don't know, I was super proud of it at the time. And I mean, still am, since I taught how to do all of that. to myself, and then I managed to do it, and then I saw the results of my work, and I was happy with it. Now with V4, I can see the improvement, which also makes me happy, but this initial moment was very nice. I think in total, that took me, both the art and the rigging, took me only 3 weeks. This one you see right here took me 9. If you don't count the time I was gone. If you count that, then more like 12 weeks. The first animation are so good. Thank you! Thank you. Like, not even so good for a solo project. Genuinely top tier. Whoa! Thank you. Yeah. I'm happy about it. So, as I've mentioned a couple of times, this one right here, V4, is the 3rd ever model that I have drawn and rigged. Second one being Isa V3. First one being, like a fan-made model of, Kobaryo's character. Koba-chan. Yeah, so this 3rd model. And yeah. So after I finished Aza V3, I was sort of preparing a little bit for the debut. Although for that one, I remember not having done that much, to be honest. It was just like, I was on a break from streaming for a while, and then one day I was like, hey, I'm back, and by the way, I have a new model. So that kinda happened. And yeah, but that was in February. We're still in January though. Other than that, I was generally just spending a lot of time with my 2 closest friends in general, and a little bit of music work on the side. I remember having something to do, like had a deadline going on, and you know, I gotta get stuff done, and just, yeah. But overall, there wasn't as much work on my music this year, but I will get into that later. Yeah. So what also happened is that my friend came over for his birthday. So, bro lives in the UK, and he came over, and then me and my best friend, like the 3 of us, spent the week together and just did a bunch of random bullshit, really. There was one particular incident which I want to talk about. Okay, so, listen. At my place, there is a lake, and in winter, it tends to freeze. It tends to freeze, and it was frozen during that time, actually. It actually got cold enough that it froze. And we took a walk there, just, you know, showing him around my place, really, since, well, he's not from there, and I'm like, hey, so there's this, and then there's also that, and yeah. So, aside from finding a brick that sort of looked like the Tanosi logo, we went to that frozen lake, and what happened there is that we decided to walk a couple steps on it, not going far, like literally right at the edge. We were not going in. Yes, the brick. We were not going in, we were just walking like at the edge of it. Well, what happens is the ice breaks. And my friend, he went in a little bit further, still not too far. And he found himself in the water, like up to his calves. The shoes were wet, and it was like wet. 2 degrees maybe out. So we went back to the hotel where he was staying and tried to dry his shoes because we still had some plants going on. See, I had this big brain idea. Not really. So what I did is I stuck the hairdryer inside of the shoe and turned it on. Bad idea, by the way. It overheated. It turned off, and I'm like, shit, did I break it? I did not. It turned on. It turned back on again after a couple of minutes, but just putting that out there, do not stuck a hairdryer in your shoe if you ever find yourself in that situation. It will overheat and the plastic part at the front will melt. So, learned something new that day. But other than that, good times, went places. And that's sort of the overall theme for this year in general. Good times, went places, yeah. And as I said, a little bit of music work as well. And that's sort of it for that month. Not a whole lot happening, but yeah. So February rolls around, and I think it was on February 9th, I'm pretty sure, yeah. That's when I, quote-unquote, debuted my V3 model and returned to streaming as a whole after being gone for, like, what, 2 months? And yeah. I missed streaming, but at the same time, I was thinking, like, how long am I gonna do this? Am I entertaining enough? But I guess I am if there's 10 people that are willing to listen to me for 3 hours. Yeah. But I was kind of starting to question that whole thing. But what else was I doing during that month? Well, that month was mostly spent thinking about, well, the next month, which had an important event happening. So, yes, I was preparing for Nonya Party, Prismatic Overdrive, overthinking a lot. Will I do well? How will it go? What are the people gonna think of me? It's my first time. How do I do this? What do I do? I need to prepare my track list. Wait, what am I gonna wear? Oh, hold on. So it was filled with thoughts like that. I was getting pretty nervous at that point, not gonna lie. Before that, I was sort of chill about it, but especially the last week of February, I was stressing. I was sort of stressing in January already, but then like late February is where it really hit me, like it's happening. And it's happening in like 2 weeks. 1 week. So I was getting stressed, but turns out there was no reason to be. What I also did is like order a bunch of clothes, being like, okay, I need to look good. I need to I need to look good, but then also, isn't early March still fairly cold over there? Maybe get some warm clothes as well, and... yeah. I also was drawing a whole lot in February as well, but I don't know. I kind of never post my art. It's sort of a general thing with me. I draw a lot, but I almost never post it because it's either just little sketches I do for myself, or it's not suitable for me to post for other reasons, or just, well, yeah. It's... yeah. Enough about February. There wasn't a whole lot going on. But you know when there was a whole lot going on? March. You already know what's coming. You already know what I'm gonna talk about. So, okay. First couple of days, again, I was freaking out. And then... wait. When did I actually go? I think it was March 3rd? Yeah, it was March 3rd. It's time for Finland trip 1 out of 3 for that year. So I brought my 2 closest friends with me because there's no way I'm doing that by myself. Y'all are coming with me, whether you like it or not. So we rented out an apartment and just chilled there. I ended up staying for almost a week. Yeah, I was staying for almost a week that time, compared to last year where I was only staying for 3 days. Literally just went to the party and then 1 day to just chill, and then I went back. But no, this time was almost a week. Hello, Volan. What's up? How is it going? I am yapping about the previous year, and I have just made it to March. Cause yeah, as I said, January, February, not a whole lot going on, just chilling with friends mostly and going places, and yeah. But now, it was time for the big thing, number 1. So yeah, I brought my 2 closest friends because, well, it's a big deal for me, and it's not just me that wanted to come, like, those 2, they wanted to see that happening as well, because, well, it was my first live performance ever. As DOLLVOiD, that is. Because technically I have been on a stage before multiple times. So it was not my first time overall, but my first time as DOLLVOiD, my first time as a music producer, whereas before I was on stages as a singer. So I think my very first time was in 2012 or 13. I was in a choir, and we were having a performance of like a local like theater thing, and I got a solo part, and I was really nervous about it, but somehow it went well. And then also the band times when I was around 16. Yeah, I was 16, so like 9 years ago almost. Where we had some performances at local conventions, but the band arc did not last very long for, well, one big reason, and that being that the leader was a major creep. So I left. And yeah, wouldn't be until then, that very moment, that I would stand on a stage again. So of course I was nervous about it, and this time, you know, with my music that I have made with my own hands. So it was sort of a different thing. It was sort of a different thing, and I was very, very nervous about it. Asking everyone there that's more experienced, because it's not just that. I was also, you know, seeing people that I have looked up to since the very beginning of my days as a producer. So that kind of added to it. Right, that story, yes. That part. So, yes, I was stressing over that as well, because I want to leave a good impression on the other artists, on the, like, with the organizers, with the audience. I kind of pressured myself a lot there. And I think I was overthinking a little bit too much, because I don't know, at the end there wasn't really a need to. But it was a very good time. And I remember me asking everyone else. I was asking everyone else, okay, so do you have any tips for me as a beginner? This is my very first time. And everyone was like, it's your first time? Yeah. Oh, okay. Just have fun. Don't think too much about it. And, well, they were right about that. Bet my ass you did, considering the future events. Man, the future events! I expected none of them. Even that one in March, I initially did not expect, but then last year, end of last year, they were like, hey! You gotta play that beat, yo, play it loud. Pretty much. Here I am. Hello, Rimus. So... So after that conversation, I was less nervous about the whole deal. And... I don't know. I was just thinking, okay, whatever happens, happens. There's nothing I can change about it anyways. So I'll just roll with it and do my best. Yeah. And I gradually became more and more comfortable. And I became more comfortable with meeting a bunch of new people in general. So, as I have mentioned before, I used to be very, very much kind of... I don't know if I would exactly say introverted, but socially anxious for sure. and I very much kept to myself and didn't really do a whole lot. I was just kind of staying where I am. What's the move for today? Yeah, today I'm sort of looking back on last year, what I did, sort of summarize the whole thing, and then I'll talk a little bit for my plans for this year. Yes. So that is the move for today. So my initial nervousness was gone and I was getting more comfortable talking to everyone. Of course, I was still overthinking a lot because I can't just turn that off. But you know, I had a great time just talking to everyone, getting to know everyone, having a good time, and then just having the time of my life on stage, really. It's... Sure, there were some technical problems because 4 of my tracks did not play, as you might know. I found out the reason for it. I exported them in the wrong format. So the CDJ couldn't read them, so that's what happened. Initially, I did not know, but I then realized. I wanted to go to the Dokumi in 2025, but I had nothing I would actually do there, plus I had no group, so I wasted that ticket. 150 euros down the drain. Ooh. Oh, that's quite a lot of money. I did end up wasting 100 as well, but that's for another reason. So, yeah. Despite those 4 tracks not playing, things still went great. And it really looked like the crowd had a good time, and I was very happy to have been able to provide that good time. Bringing speedcore to Tampere. Oh, they were screaming. I also remember what happened in August. Just shaking the barricades. It was a good time. And yeah, as I said, this time stayed there for a bit longer than just the party to actually get to see a bit of things. And what also happened that month is that Infinite Dimension got released as part of Neonia Radio 1. So if you pay attention to my 2025 music recap, I sort of swapped the places of Sacrificio 2025 remake and Infinite Dimension because I wasn't sure which one came first, but in preparation for this stream, I then realized, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, Infinite Dimension got released, which also fulfilled a dream of mine because, well, turns out I'm on the same album as my biggest inspiration, my favorite artist. Yeah. It was a 3-day ticket and the rave. I thought I could go out with guys. That didn't work, so I asked friends, but they already had another big group, so yeah. And before I wasted more time and money on the Deutsche Bahn, I rather let it be. That's sad to hear. Technically, you could have sold your ticket, but I mean, I could have done that too, but it did not. I didn't. Did not happen. Your kicks with those diabolical tails were getting the venue to vibrate, and considering barely any raves have this in sets, it's nothing like they've seen. Just 1 hour straight of speedcore. Okay, there was a couple of slower tracks in there as well, but the large majority was just because that's what I make. And yeah, it's very fitting for me to be last there. Ticket has your name on it. I don't think it would have been possible. I didn't try though, so I don't know. I think there was a way to like change it or something, but I'm not sure about it myself. So yeah. And what else happened is that my confidence, not just with interacting with other people increased, but just the confidence in my abilities in general. Like, yeah, I did that, and I'm able to do that. I made good stuff. Yes. So yeah, I was very, very happy about it. I mean, I did sell my August Nonya ticket because I accidentally bought non-VIP. Who would buy a non-VIP? Yeah, every time that I have gone... Okay, actually, hold on. There was only one time where there was VIP tickets and I was not performing. That was last... Wait, that's not last year anymore! That's 2 years ago! Ah! 2024 is 2 years ago! So, July 2 years ago... Yeah, I bought a VIP ticket there as well because I am here for the full experience. The realization. In my opinion, it's better for a VTuber to show their face out in events. Otherwise, you do. It's a good way to get more confident, as you say yourself, and connect with others. Yeah, in my case, it's more like, I don't know, how do I explain it? I never particularly cared about not showing my face because rather than a VTuber, I am a producer in First Line who just happens to stream with a VTuber avatar here and there. I'm not paying too close attention to following exact things that most VTubers seem to do, like not showing their face or whatever. I mean, everyone is free to do what they want. I am by no means talking down on it, but it's just what works best for me. Gang went once and immediately got kidnapped to the backstage. Whoops. The pipeline. So, yeah. March was a good month. It was a good month, yes. Other than that, I was just back home and being like, I did it! I did it! Yes! I was telling my mom all about it as well the next time I came to visit, and she was proud of me, yes. And so was my dad, actually, and I rarely got to hear that from him, but I showed him and he was happy with it. He's like... At first I thought that it's just something that makes no sense, but it's important to you and you're having success with it. Basically that. What was your game of the year in 2025? None. I have barely played any games at all that year. A little bit at the beginning of the year, but it's not a lot. FL Studio. The funny thing is that I didn't even make a whole lot of music that year. I was just spending most of the time touching grass, really. Oh, I know he's exploding with happiness from that. You know, it's one thing liking the music, it's another to see your daughter on stage with hundreds of people vibing. Yeah. Well, he himself, he does not like the music that I make whatsoever. It's just not his thing, which is okay. It's not everyone's thing. It's very specific and an acquired taste for many, so I did not expect him to be a massive fan of it or anything, but yes. And with that, we roll into the month of April. What happened there? Well, first of all, I released the 2025 remake of Sacrificio, which sort of was a little random, really. I never planned to do that remake, but it sort of happened. I was experimenting a little bit with sounds, and I'm like, okay, what would happen if I remade that track from early 2023 with my current sounds of 2025? And then that sort of happened, and then I was like, yeah, let's release it. Why not? I played it at Nenya first, and then I released it later on. Yes. Understandable. Try explaining speedcore to older people. Yeah, with most... Yeah. I'm sure he was happy I'm sure he was happy to be able to support you either way. Yeah, I think so too. At the beginning, he was quite skeptical of this whole deal because, of course, I told him about that. Like, hey, I'm going to Finland to perform live, and yeah, he was skeptical about it at first, but then he saw the videos and everything, and I think he even posted one himself. April was my Baldur's Gate 3 time. Did 2 runs with a friend. Nice! Yeah, as I said, gaming was very much not a thing in 2025 for me, besides occasionally playing Phasmophobia at the beginning of the year and then getting into Schedule 1 for a couple of weeks, obsessively creating the most diabolical strains and mixes. Yeah. So what also happened in April is my birthday. Yeah. I turned 24 and once again, didn't do a whole lot. Had my best friend over, went out chilling, grabbed a drink. That was basically it. Just vibing. They have a mushroom update now. I might need to look at it again. Maybe, I don't know. So, yes. Birthday came and went. And overall, April was just very much lots of grass touching, trips to different cities. Just going out a lot because it's finally getting warmer. Spring is here. Time to enjoy. Next April is not so far away. Yes. 3 months left and it's my birthday yet again. Well, more like 3.5, but yes. Soon you'll be a Vierteljahrhundert old. Yes. Quarter of a century. Let's go. Time flies. And yeah, as I said, lots of grass touching. Lots of trips to different places, different cities. And around that time is also when I realized that I need to finally start prioritizing myself more. Because before that, I was investing most of my energy into other people that did not give back the same energy that I was putting into them. So that was the time when I started questioning it more. I was sort of questioning it already at the very beginning of the year. Like, I was not happy with that particular situation. And yeah, this is when it really kicked in, like, okay, it's time to stop doing that and take better care of myself. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little hard to explain, but yeah. This is when I really realized it, like, okay, I need to change this because yeah. And then what also happened in April, which already was mentioned in March already, is, hey Isa, do you wanna come to Unmuted, which is happening in May? And at first I was like, I don't know, like, I'm not so sure about that yet. But then I realized nothing is holding me back. Why shouldn't I go? Why shouldn't I go? There's no reason why I shouldn't. So then in April I was like, yeah, I'm going. I'm definitely going. I totally fuck with that, to be honest. I had probably in the second half of 2025 also trying to focus on myself and trying to love myself before I try to save others. The point where I was quite online kind of ghosted the internet. Yeah, it's sort of been similar for me in a way. So yeah, this is also where I was like, you know what? Why not? Why shouldn't I go? There's no reason holding me back. So then May rolls around to the Netherlands. Hey, Neka. Hello. Did I miss anything? I'm sort of talking about my whole last year, sort of summarizing it as a whole, kind of looking back on it, and then later on I will talk a bit about my plans for 2026. I just started going from April to May, so yes. Yeah. To the Netherlands. I think I went on May 15th? Yeah. Yeah, it was May 15th, and then I went back on the 18th. Yes. It was like this. So I get on a train, and to the Netherlands I go 6.5 hours by train. Yay! Oh, and before that happened, I released Through the Silence. I think that one is one of my best tracks. My favorite is still From Beyond Chaos, Total Annihilation, but Through the Silence is definitely up there with my favorite tracks that I have made. I quite like the switch up and the different kicks there, and trying things with vocal samples. Yeah, it was good. That's also a track that I initially first played at Prismatic Overdrive back in March, and then in May I finally released it. So yeah. And then a couple days after that, it was time for the Netherlands. I have never been there, so it was my first ever time there. And well, I did make a stream about that as well, talking about this whole thing and going to places, doing things. The party itself was also great. I met a few of my friends there, and just people I know in general, because I besides my real life friends, which I have mentioned before, so I have my one best friend that lives in the same city, and some others all across Germany, really. Some even outside of Germany, but typically we'd meet up at parties and events and stuff like these. So that happened there as well. And yeah, what else is there to say? Great times. And also got to see the city of Arnhem, which is very nice, very beautiful. I'm just remembering the church and going up the tower in 93-meter height. And I have a bit of a fear of heights. Yeah. It's been a challenge, but I did not face that challenge alone. Yes. Oh, by the way, when you focused on yourself, did you also find that things went quiet around you? That's what happened to me. Lots of people just didn't say anything anymore, even after I reached out. For me personally, it's sort of been the opposite, really. Like, some people have started to reach out to me more, but not in like a way that I found draining or anything, but just, I guess the connections that I had, they became more genuine. Yeah. And the ones that sort of faded away, I was not focused on them much in the first place. So it was only a specific thing, really. 93 is quite high. Yeah, it was. I was shaking up there. But yeah, it's also remembering the coincidences that happened. Interesting, to be honest. Yeah! I don't quite know how to describe it, but... Yeah. And after coming back from the Netherlands, I sort of started going on a lot of walks just by myself, really. Whereas before, if it was just me, I would just not leave the house because I thought, why would I? Why would I go outside if it's just me? But no, I started going out by myself more and just discovering local nature in a way. I went to different parks, I took walks by a lake, by a river, just kind of getting in touch with nature more. I went to forests, and it's good. It's good. And I was just listening to the sounds around me, the birds, the water. It's nice to clear your head, really. Because, yeah, there was a lot of things on my mind during that time as well. Winter clouds are nice. Yeah, they are, but winter over here at least is mostly just gray, so I don't enjoy it too much, but at the time in May, it was nice. Yeah. Anyways, June then rolled around and we are getting to the part where I went to Dokumi, which is the largest anime convention in Germany, and I think in Europe in general. So that was a fun time. I went there for the first time ever. I have never been there before, but I have always thought about it, that I want to go there, I want to do that, and see what's up. -10 and completely fogged up. This weather is so chopped. It's snowing again, though. The rare Germany event, snow. Yeah, it's been snowing over here as well, but it's not snowing right now. But the snow is not instantly melting, so that's a good thing. Because usually it would just instantly melt away and become this gray slush, which I hate. That's the main reason why I don't really enjoy winter over here, at least. It's just gray and wet. If it would be snowing and, you know, a little colder, would be nice. But anyways, we got a nice -20 with feels like -28. Yeah, it's getting real cold over there. Let's see. Over here it's like -3 right now, and I think feels like -8 or something. 6. Yeah. Yeah. Doable, but -20, that's pretty much the lowest I have ever experienced in my whole life. But considering where you're from, you're probably like, that's normal. Ah yes, Antarctica. Yeah. Right now we're sitting in winter with some of y'all sitting in -20 degrees, but I'm gonna go back to talk about my summer. So as I mentioned, June, I went to Dokumi for the very first time. I went for the whole 3 days. I got myself a 3-day ticket, and so did my friends, because we went together. Initially, we were supposed to be 4 people, but we ended up being 3. Who the 4th one was supposed to be, I don't know. You might be able to guess, but I will not mention it. Things have happened a few months before, which kind of made the fourth ticket a bit unnecessary. So there go 100 or something euros down the drain. If you see this, you still owe me, by the way. Yeah. But regardless of that, we had a great time. It was very, very full. There were so many people. It was a bit of a hard time to handle that, but it was okay. It was okay. But there were just so many halls. We did not even get to see all of them in those 3 days. So, yeah, next time I go, I gotta make a plan. Because I went in with, well, rather, we went in without a plan, and I think that was our biggest mistake there. I think you have to have a plan for that. At what time did you go? We always ended up going in the early afternoon, which is kind of late. Yes, I know. It's already packed at that moment. But I don't know. We were kind of too lazy to get up earlier and then getting into our cosplays and stuff, which, by the way, my choice of cosplay was very much obvious. I was there as Koba-chan, which someone did actually recognize. I was approached by someone. I was approached by someone, and he was asking, like, okay, excuse me, and sorry if I'm wrong about this, but that cosplay of yours, is that supposed to be is that supposed to be Kobario? And I'm like, yes. Finally someone recognized it. Yes. Actually, some others recognized it as well, especially at that one rhythm game booth. The people there immediately were like, oh, yeah, I know who you are. As in, I know who you're cosplaying. Oh wait, was there the what farm? I have not seen one that time. I was a worker from Lethal Company in 2024. Very few noticed. Ooh, nice. Yeah, with me, like 3 people notice or like recognize at least once that actually approached me about it. There's probably a couple more that were like, oh yeah, but didn't say anything about it because, well, I'm the same. I found some really good Toho cosplays though. I took a picture with those Toho cosplayers and they they all wear a whole head taller than me. It's so funny because I was in the middle and all around me there's like these tall Toho cosplayers because, well, of course, as it is with most Toho cosplayers, all of them were guys. But their cosplays were really, really good, and yeah. Wonder how much the air in Dokumi and other giant conventions add to global warming. I really wonder. You know, I was surprised that I did not end up getting sick. Because there was so many people. And then also the fact that it only was like 14 degrees. And considering what I was wearing, just an oversized shirt, it was cold. It was cold. I mean, yes, I had a jacket on my way to the convention and stuff, but my legs were still freezing. And it was raining too. It was raining too, but somehow I ended up not catching anything. But yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time. Solution next time, cosplay HVS. Yeah. That would have been a solution. But at the beginning of June, I don't know, the weather is kind of unpredictable. Like, yes, it can be only 15 degrees with rain, but it can also very well be like, I don't know, 30. So I wasn't sure about that yet, but then I was like, okay, guess we're rolling with that then. And I did have some tickets to the J-Rave as well, but I ended up not going. Why? It's because a particular condition that I have was flaring up that day, and I was in a lot of pain. I'm just like, I can't do this. So that sucked. But the day before, there was also another party that I did end up going to. But I also ended up leaving pretty fast because, well, I went there to just check it out, and, well, a couple of my other friends were hanging out there, so I figured I'd say hi. But, well, okay, first of all, the music was just anime stuff, which I'm not too much into, but that wasn't even why I left. It's inside the venue. It was so unbearably hot, and the air, oh, it was just, it was super stinky in there. It was super stinky, super sweaty, and super hot, and super humid, which is why I ended up leaving after just an hour. I literally was just waiting for my friend to show up so we could say hi and then just leave. It was a cat boy farm? Humidity was insane. Oh no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about August. I'm still talking about June. I sent you the tweet on Discord. Oh, so it was in that area. Yeah, I never made it to that part of the convention because, well, by the time I was there, the lines for the age verification was so long. I was just like, you know what? I'm not that much of a gooner that I will stand in line for like over an hour just to get in there. So, yeah. I did not get to see the cat boy farm. And yeah, that weekend went by relatively quickly again, and what I was also very happy about is that it was finally summer. After that weekend, it started getting pretty warm pretty fast. I went on more walks, I went on more trips, going out with my best friend, going to places, taking pictures, trying different things. That whole deal. And yeah. But there was one major downside to this whole month, and that is that I talked about it on my Discord a little bit. I was sort of very vague about it because I was not comfortable talking about it at the time, which I still will not go into the details. But yeah, I ended up losing someone that was close to me, family-wise. And yeah, I kind of struggled with it at first. While I still will not go into the details of what and the whole thing, I will mention though that it was my father, yes. So he ended up passing that month, unfortunately. But at the end, all I can say is that he was not suffering anymore, at least. So I took the time off to sort of process that, and I ended up not streaming that week because really didn't feel like it. And then, yeah, took those days to sort of process that, but I tried to see the positive in it. As I said, no more suffering. And that's sort of what got me through this. I still think about him a lot nowadays, but it's more like I see things that remind me of him and I'm like, oh, he would have loved this. Like, for example, I go to a store and then they sell like this particular Greek mountain tea. And I'm just like, oh, he would have loved this. Yeah. Until now, and I don't plan on taking it off, you will always see me, if you would see me in real life, you would always see me with one particular bracelet on my wrist, and it's just a simple black one with some red details on it. That's what he gave me 2 years ago as some sort of protection, because it's like a very particular one, which in Greece, or like in like Orthodox, Christian Orthodox religions, is supposed to be protecting someone. While I personally, I don't know, I'm not really a religious person, but you know, just having someone, just having something from him around me, it helps a lot, yes. So yeah, I was sort of processing that. But I already knew months before, I already knew that it was happening, so I guess I was sort of preparing for it mentally, but nothing can ever truly prepare you for that. But yes, that's all I will say about that. I will now move on to July. We're already halfway through the year. It's time to start the second half of the year. And the second half is where things really took off. So the first half was more about... So, okay. I've heard something very interesting about a week ago. And that is about... So, maybe you know about the Chinese zodiac. And last year was the year of the snake. And I've heard that it's about, you know, like a snake sheds its skin, right? And it was like shedding the past, like letting go of things. And I can say the same for me in a way, especially for the first half of the year. So that was sort of what it was about. The second half was very much about new beginnings in a way, and taking my life in a direction that I wanted to be at, instead of being led by the decisions of others. Tolka reference! Oh! So, yeah. Second half of the year was very much about that. So, starting off July, back to making trips to different cities, back to going places, back to touching grass, and at the end of the month, back to Finland. But before I get to that, as I said, going to other cities, I ended up going to one close to me because a friend of mine that lives in Berlin was in the city because he had a DJ gig there, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go, let's do this. So went there. It was just your standard anime rave, so yeah, lots of cosplayers. Then they had a cosplay contest as well, and I was just watching and just sitting around, but I didn't stick around for too long because I had to catch my train because I wanted to go back home, because I had I had 3 options. One was staying up the whole night and going back home in the morning. Option 2 would be to go back with the last train that I could take without having to pay extra. And then option 3 would be to go back by train at a later time, but then I'd have to pay like 50, 60 euros. I ended up going with option 2, so we had to leave relatively early. So this guy played 2 sets that night, and I ended up seeing the first one, then after that, and then back home I went. Yeah. So this much about that. And then, well, end of the month rolls around. And, well, Defiant Resonance is coming closer. It was on August 1st and August 2nd, but, well, back to Finland I go on July 29th. I went back. Second time for this year. Let's go. So, I also made like a long stream about that where I was talking about everything that I did there, and yeah. So, the first time I went in March, I brought my two closest friends with me. This time, I went by myself, but, I was not alone, and by that point, you already know what's up, so, yeah. Another thing to mention is that was my third? Was it my third time? Wait. No, that was my second time in Helsinki. But the first time around I didn't do a whole lot of sightseeing. The second time, at that moment, I did. I ended up going to a lot of places. Well, yeah, Helsinki, but then later we went to Tampere because the event was there. But yeah, we're still in July, and at the end of July I was still in Helsinki. Yes. Saw a lot of different stuff. The churches. Yeah. Brain is not braining. Both keeping the same amount. Lots of things happen in July. Yeah. Yeah. Also, another thing was that it was quite hot over there, considering, well, it's Finland. Why is it like 32 degrees with a ridiculously high humidity? I was there taking showers multiple times per day. And the air conditioning did not work. It did not work. I mean, we ended up getting a portable cooler, which sort of helped, but yeah. Well, not even sort of. It was way better. The night with the cooler was way better compared to without. Still not optimal, but it was better. They're not playing with those. But yes. Now, going over to August 1st, the very first day of the month. On the train I go. Going to Tampere, because that's where the party was at. And as I said, it was happening on August 1st and August 2nd. First being the pre-party, second being the main event. Yeah, saw my friends again. A lot of people. There was also multiple people asking me for autographs on the CD of Nenya Radio 1 that came out a couple months earlier. So it was quite an interesting feeling to be asked for that, and also pictures as well. Yo, are you DOLLVOiD? Can we take a picture together? Sure. Yeah. Also, can you sign my CD? Yeah, I'd love to. Give me that pen. No one has asked an autograph for me. Chat, do you see this? Do you see this? You know what's up next time. You know what's up next time. Get him. But I'm kind of surprised that no one did. I would have thought so. I would have thought so. Wait. No. They did. I remember someone at least asking. To get the CD signed. Because they were collecting autographs from everyone on there. I don't know. I remember you signing something. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyways, to the people that are attending, that are going to Nenya and such events, get them. Yeah, and oh, day one of the party, the pre-party, the venue. So there were two stages. One was outside on the terrace, and it was just pretty chill. You could just grab a drink from the bar behind and just hang out with your friends and sit down and chill and talk. But then there was also another stage that was inside, downstairs. And let me tell you about that one, because I never was this sweaty in my entire life. By the time, so I was down there for a whole hour for NECA, because, you know, ain't no way I'm missing out on that. So I was down there for a whole hour. I was thinking, I'm gonna die down there. Okay, that's a little extreme, but at some points, I genuinely was thinking, okay, I hope I don't pass out here, or anyone for that matter. Air circulation of doom, indeed. By the time I went back up, sweat was running down my legs. It was literally running down my legs. It was crazy. to the people carrying fans at that time and being so nice to fan some air to us people without them. I think at some point there was the whole like condensation dripping from the ceiling, but I was choosing to ignore that. But yeah, super hot, super humid. Sweat was running down my legs, my back, everything. I have never been this sweaty in my entire life. But worth it. Nothing that immediately downing multiple glasses of water afterwards can't fix. Also, grabbing food after the party was fun. Bowen, we meet again. And then, of course, day 2 rolled around and I had my second ever live performance, second time at Neonya. And that time, everything went smoothly. All the files were working. New tracks were played. Dude, people were absolutely losing it when I played From Beyond Chaos, Total Annihilation. They were shaking the barricades. People were screaming. They were absolutely going wild. Like, what were the chances? Yeah! Me knocking at the window. Hello! We meet again! Goated said, thank you! Yes. I ended up playing From Beyond Chaos twice. And that's also where I played Absolute Awakening for the very first time, but some of you guys already caught up on that, but the initial version that I played at Nyonya was a bit different from the one that I ended up releasing last week. Since well, the biggest change was the melody of the first part of it, because I wasn't quite happy with it, and then I ended up changing it to just be the same as like the second drop. So that ended up working much better. Some of them had few too many drinks. Yeah! Too many long drinks. Oh, the long drinks. Ah. I don't know, but you guys cooked with that. I smelled them from across the barrier. Oof. The shaking. I saw that and I'm just like, yo, what's up? But yeah, it's been obvious. They had a little bit too much of those. And yeah. It's been a great time. This time I was also much more confident with, well, talking to the others that were around, because, well, a lot of them I knew already from March, and then also just me overall becoming less socially anxious, more confident. And I'm gonna take a sip of water now. Yeah. So fun times, yes. I found that the time was flying super fast again, because in the blink of an eye it was August 3rd already, which meant time for me to go home. I once again stayed for nearly a week, like 6 days or so, 5. I don't know, but close to a week. And that went by super quickly again. And it was once again time for me to go back home to Germany. But not for long, because just a week later, I went to Greece for 2 weeks with my family. So not a whole lot to talk about on stream, but yeah. Just imagine me chilling at the beach for 2 weeks. Iced coffee in hand, relaxed on one of these, what are they called? Anyways, I was just chilling at the beach for the most part. And I had my best friend come over again because I'm like, hey, do you want to join me? We do a lot of things together. And yeah, Insatiable Havoc playing right now is also very, very fitting because at the end of August or beginning of September, I don't remember exactly, Insatiable Havoc actually reached 500,000 views, which is an insane number. 500,000 people have listened to this track, or at least, you know, it's been listened to 500,000 times. It's probably not 500,000 individual people, but still, that is a huge number, and I was very much surprised to see that. And I was very happy about it. Even now, it keeps climbing. The numbers keep climbing. Currently at 591,000. So since then, almost 100,000 more. Which, again, insane work. So that has also happened. Can't be at least 20k of those is me. Yeah, I think there's many people having this on repeat. And this is still a favorite for many people. Can you believe that this track is already 2 years old now? I released this in December 2023. And yeah. Oh, by the way, my mom heard your stuff and loved it. Said you got another fan. Nice! Thank you. Spreading the word of the void. The conversion begins. Yeah, that sort of wraps up August and my summer as a whole, because now we're going into September, where I mostly spent the time once again going out a lot, just enjoying the last couple of warm days before fall hits and it's getting cold and wet and whatever. What I also did that month is try out a bunch of different recipes because, well, I wanted to get more into cooking more varied meals, because a lot of the time I would just eat the same things over and over again, and you know, I wanted to give my try at more varied recipes. So I was having fun with that. There was one time where I made some tomato soup where I roasted the vegetables in the oven first with like olive oil and like honey on top as well, and it ended up being really good. Like I pureed that as well and then added some cream to that, and some like broth, and it ended up being really good. And yeah, a bunch of other things as well. And what I also did that month is just letting all of the events of the past couple of months just settle in, because so much has happened. So much has happened, not just in August, but like the whole summer in general, and I was just processing all of that. And yeah, that's sort of the general vibe. Not very eventful otherwise, just chill. Bruh, I keep oversleeping. Good morning! Good morning. I guess you needed that sleep. Yeah. And then October sort of spent similarly. Although I was attending some local cultural events, like there was a Polish festival actually that I ended up going to, and they had some Polish singers and other kinds of musicians performing on the stage. They were selling Polish food and just, yeah, all about Polish culture in general. And of course, me being half Polish and, you know, my mother bringing in the Polish part. I told her about it, like, hey, we should go there, and we went there together. Yeah, it was nice. Good food, good music, good times. Yeah. I was generally spending a lot of time with family and my best friend during that time. But another major thing that happened that month is that October 18th was my 5th anniversary of being DOLLVOiD. That's when I had my very first release as DOLLVOiD on October 18th, 2020. 5 years already. Went by like nothing. So, yeah, but as a producer in general, this year it will be 8 years or 9 depending on how you see it, but I like to say 8 years because that's when I got more into it, although my first attempts were 9 years ago, trying to recreate Toho themes by ear and then sort of adding my own spin to it. And I was not making speedcore at the time. That came in 2019. So, yeah. I was making drrr till 1 a.m. Ooh. That's... yeah. I also ended up sleeping rather long today. I woke up at 12, I think. Yeah, 12. What kind of genres did you make in the past? I don't even know what to describe it as, really. I have something still saved, I think, from those times. Wait. Let me see if I can find it. Like, what were my very first... well, not the very first attempts, but like early 2018, I think is the earliest I can find. But I don't know if I still have it. Not sure about that. Doesn't look like it. Never mind! Never mind! Okay, okay, I think I found something. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's pause you for a second. Okay, so at that time, I was still making music on my phone using GarageBand. I had an iPhone 7 at the time, and I discovered that you can make music on it. Oh, let me do that. And then I kind of started doing that. And at the beginning, I was just doing some sort of Toho arrangements. I was just recreating the melodies of Toho themes, specifically from the PC 98 era. So like the very early days of it, and then I kind of did that. So so this one right here was an arrangement of what was it called again? Oh yeah, highly responsive to prayers, which is from the very first Toho game, and then I kind of did that. And okay, please play. Okay, still rather fast, but this is what I was making. Late 2017, early 2018. I had no idea about music production whatsoever. I was just going by vibes. I was just going by pure vibes, nothing else. So this is what I was making 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I have another one. So same game, different theme. That one was The Angel's Legend. Again, I had no clue about music production whatsoever. Pure vibes, nothing else. How old was I at the time? Hold on. 16? Yeah. Yeah. Swarm of bugs describes it well. So those were like my very first attempts, and then after that, June 2018, I just switched to FL because wow, I had a laptop now. Oh wait, you can make stuff on your PC too. Let me get that. Yeah. So that's what I was cooking up back in the day. Not gonna lie, pretty good. No one look at my 2021, 2022 unreleased shit. So, yeah. And back then, I was not DOLLVOiD yet. I went by Izayoi, which was taken from, ha! You guessed it, Toho, Sakuya Izayoi. My favorite character. I love her. I love Sakuya. She is watching me from my desk. If you know where to look, you can find my oldest projects out there. 2009, 2010, 2009. Man, 2009 is 17 years ago already. Last night, okay, listen, last night I was just chilling, watching YouTube and stuff, and suddenly I come across a video and it says 20 years ago. Seeing 20 years ago on a YouTube video is kind of crazy. So, yeah, while I have been making music since 8 years ago, I have been DOLLVOiD for the past 5 years. Reached 5 years on October 18th. And yeah. And then October 31st rolls around. Guess what I am doing? Finland yet again. I am back. Third time for this year. I think only 2 people know my aliases on that time. Oh, I see. Different times. Dude, this track here might genuinely be my least favorite. I don't even want to listen to it right now. I keep skipping it all the time. Spooky, scary skeleton. The evil ass Neonya. Yes, it was time for evil Neonya. New year, new playlist. Well, this playlist just consists of all of my original tracks that are not on a label, which will give me a notification. Hey! Hey, this is copyrighted content. I made this. So yeah. One of the tracks is 230 BPM Terror. Yo! Yeah. Anyways, October 31st, I'm back in Finland. Hello! This country gets to see me once more. This time, I wasn't just there for a couple days or a week. No, I locked in and stayed for 3. It was time for no Isa November. Well, no Isa November for you guys at least. Because, well, I already, I already talked about that as well a little bit. So, November 1st, Nonya party once again. This time I'm not performing though. I'm just chilling there. Yes. Having light stick fights with people and Slav squatting in a circle. It calls to you. Yes, it calls to me. It calls to me. Isa, you must come here 3 times. Or 3 times a year. Oh, by regarding Total Annihilation, some people got around charting it more. I'm doing my part in spreading the rot. Nice! That was dude, I can't talk. But yeah, that's great. The ending, talk about the ending. Shit was cinema. Yes, it was. So at the end of the party, we had there was a special set going on, and that was Hexaxon versus Neodash. They went all out, both in their set and also in their like overall stage presence. They wore costumes and they were like acting their part. It was so fun to watch. At some point, the music being played was absolutely crazy. At some point, we were just T-posing in the back. Just, yeah. Chilling in the back talking, and then we just hear the microwave, and we just start T-posing. Neka and I just chilling in the back talking to people, and then the microwave hits and we're just like T-posing. Rainbow microwave peeps. Fun times though. And yeah, after that, I still had almost a whole 3 weeks, so yeah. Those 3 weeks were well spent. Yeah. I mean, you guys already know what's up. The most unsurprising surprise already dropped, and yeah. Spent 3 days. No, not 3 days. 3 weeks. And I got to see the Northern Lights for the very first time in my life, which was awesome. It was beautiful. What else can I say? I was completely taken aback, but I was lucky to see those in the first place because, well, people go to these places specifically for that and then end up not seeing anything. They spend like thousands on tours like that, and then I get to see it pretty intensely just on a random day out going back, like, oh, what is that? None of these words are in the Bible. Rainbow microwave peeps. Yeah. Well, there's not much else to say about that time. I mean, I talked a little bit about it on stream already, but besides that, it's just, well, peak happiness, really. What also happened during that month is that another track got released, and that is Facing the Virtual Abyss, which is part of Nonya Radio 2. So the album was released, so was the track. Yeah. Another banger. And this is also the time where I learned more about different things regarding music, and I do want to apply those. just prepare for that. Yeah, and then going into December, I gotta say, typically December is like the worst time of the year for me because of multiple reasons, really. It's just that the holiday season in general just makes me feel kind of sad. Although it's gotten better over the past couple of years. Like, I'm not as sad and miserable as I used to be like 5 years ago or so. It's been getting better, but still not really a time that I particularly enjoy that much. But I'm always trying to make the best out of the situation. I mean, it's sort of is what it is, but yeah. Try not to think about it too much. And this is sort of where I started to, again, process all of the things happening, and, well, the conclusion is that I think that 2025 has overall been the best year so far for me. Sure, there has been some lows for sure, but other than that, it's been a great year. It very much was about my own personal growth and also experiencing new things, and as I mentioned before, sort of shedding negativity and the past in a way, although I constantly say that, but this year was really about letting go and starting new while, you know, focusing on my own well-being. Destroying this past. Yes, I thought of it too. Reference. Yeah. And going out more, touching grass more, getting to experience more things made me happier than I was just being constantly online as I used to be. I still have a long way to go, but I finally think that I'm on the right path when it comes to things. Hold on. Wait. No, this needs something more fitting. Yeah, this one. It's been an interesting year. It's been an eventful year, and I just want to thank everyone that was part of it for making it what it is. I don't know how to phrase this, but I don't know, I'm just incredibly happy about the path my life has taken and the people that I have around me and that made those things, those experiences of this year possible. And also, well, I gotta say that I'm proud of myself as well for doing all of these things. Not backing away from anything anymore. Just going with it. Wow, emotional speech. Yeah, I'm just happy about it. And, well, there is plans for this year as well. A few general plans. So, the biggest thing that I want to do is to get my stuff properly sorted out so I can finally get my music onto various streaming platforms, because that is something that I was thinking about for years but never really gotten into because the process seemed kind of complicated and I was hesitant about the whole deal with my name being out there. But at this point it's sort of like, okay, maybe I'll find a way around it, and if not, well, it is what it is. It is what it is, kinda. I already know that to all of you, I am Laine, regardless. So that's one of the things that I want to get sorted out. Another is to get more to get also more streaming stuff sorted out, so I can also get back on streaming on Twitch and be able to earn a bit from that as well. And I will not switch entirely. I will likely keep streaming to both platforms, at least for a while, to have the sort of like transition period, or I might just keep it as it is, like multi-streaming to both platforms, so you can choose what works better for you. I'm not 100% sure about that yet, but it's likely. But either way, I do want to get that stuff sorted out so I can do that. And with my streams as well, I also plan on having more variety in them because, well, last year I mainly focused on chatting streams like this one. But I want to get more into doing different activities, getting back more into games and playing games on stream, having me react to them, and yeah, just overall bit more variety. Of course, there still will be the occasional yapping stream here and there, but I want to have more variety this year. I need to purge reference some shit from my Spotify playlist because I got to 10K. I have only one playlist, and that is just the liked songs that I have. And how many do I have in there? 256. Remove some to add more repeats, still pushing that wall. Next stream, full. That would take me forever. And yeah. I have Beast Mode playlist with 67 Oshama Scrambles. Hitting PRs in the gym with this one. 6, 7. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, I want to get back into playing more games on stream, for example. Well, maybe do some art streams here and there too. And also, I don't know. Maybe I can't promise that. Overcome my fear of doing a music production stream. I told you before that it's kind of a weird topic for me because I'm very self-conscious about my process, but I'll try to get over this because I know a lot of people would love to see it and it would be a good idea, but I don't know if I can quite handle that. So yeah. And speaking of music, I also plan on releasing more tracks than I did last year. So last year it was 5, so more than that for sure, while also expanding on my style a little more. Not planning to change it or anything, but just expanding it a little more. Try different sort of synths, different kicks, because I tend to reuse the same things a lot. And I kind of want to move away from that just a little bit. Not losing this like DOLLVOiD flavor to it, but you know, move a little bit towards new horizons or something. Yeah. And with that also comes further improving at music, especially at my weak points such as sound design or like mixing and mastering is also something that I struggle with a lot. And yeah. There is no right or wrong way to make music, only more practical methods. See, this is how I see it too, but I can't help to sort of be self-conscious about it for some reason. Might be because, well, I was told by some people before, like, oh no, you're doing this wrong, you should do this, which I know is bullshit because there is no wrong way, really. But, yeah. Me being self-conscious about my way of working, teaching when showing you tips and tricks. Well, you don't need to be. You explained it pretty well. But then I guess I could say the same thing to myself as well, that I don't need to be self-conscious about it. DOLLVOiD harsh noise wall when? Metal pecker. Yeah. That's sort of what I have in mind as well, and there is a couple of music projects planned as well, so pretty soon there will be a new release as well, like we're talking this month. And aside from that, there's also still the collab planned between NECA and me. The NECA and DOLLVOiD collab. Yep, that's also still happening. And yeah, you'll see what else there is. And other than that, of course, I thought Awakening was the collab. Oh, no. He just did the mastering on that. Yes. But that was not it yet. Every tutorial, oh, you need to leave at least this much headroom to avoid clipping. Me, mix into clipper. I mean, it works. But yeah, no, Absolute Awakening was not the collab yet. He just did the mastering on that one. Make it clip. And yeah, aside from music stuff, of course, I plan again on going to a bunch of different places. More travels are in sight. Wow, who would have thought? On my way to make extra tone where clipping is the main thing. Yeah, I think these are like my main plans for this year. Maybe some small things as well, but the main things are there pretty much. Get my stuff sorted out so I can do things properly in both music and streams. And yeah, more variety in both areas as well. And of course, improve at music, put out more stuff, because it has been kind of quiet around me last year, but as I mentioned multiple times, I was more focusing on myself and the people important to me during that time. And yeah. Get ready for a new era of DOLLVOiD, basically. As shown in the end of the video for Absolute Awakening. And so a new era begins. Yep. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for what I have in mind. Yes. So this year, I mean this month, you can expect a new track. Yep. And I'll get started on more varied streams as well, getting more back into games and stuff, which I will actually start with next week. Yeah. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Yeah. Seems like you guys are looking forward to it, judging by the ooh and yo. Well, you won't be disappointed. I'll make sure of that. Yeah. I think pretty soon I'll end the stream to make some food once again. It's getting... Wow, almost 2.5 hours already. Time well spent, I guess. Always excited for a new track. Yeah. So, next stream will be next Sunday, January 11th. And thinking of that date makes me think once again I gotta get started on, as I call it, the yearly tradition. So I gotta get that done. Gotta start up that drawing. But anyways. Next stream will be on January 11th, next Sunday, where I will be playing something. What exactly? I don't know yet. I have to go through my library to see what I feel like. I do have something in mind. I do have something in mind though. Yeah. Wonder who that is? Yeah. As I said, it's become a yearly tradition for me. I've been doing that for a long time. Those yearly fan arts, like, here, happy birthday, have this. Hold on. How many years has it been now? That's gonna be year number 8. Yeah. So, next week, I'll be playing something. I already have something in mind, so yes, stay tuned for that. The variety starts. I am acting on my plans for this year. Yes. I think that will be pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed sticking around, listening to my yapping. One last look at the year of 2025 and looking forward to what 2026 has to bring. I have a feeling that this one will be another great year filled with many adventures and great times with people important to me. Time well spent as usual. Yes! Okay, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching once again. I will see you next Sunday. And until then, have a nice rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are, morning even. Yeah. Until next time, take care of yourselves and the void with it. Goodbye.